Today I'm going to be using these bandanas that I found at Walmart. The first one here has a holly pattern on it, and it measures 21.5 by 20.5 inches, and I'm going to be using 6 of them. Now when I open it, I'm just going to leave it folded in half and cut down the middle. I'm using my rotary cutter to cut them, and again, I open it, leave it folded in half, and cut down the middle. So I'm getting 2 pieces out of each bandana. The next color I have here is this really pretty light green, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. The measurements are the same for this. I'm going to cut 6 full bandanas in half so that I have 12 pieces of each pattern. My wreath form here is 14-inch wreath form, and I'm going to wrap the bandanas around the wreath form. So I fold the bandana in half, I lay it over the wreath form, put the 2 tail ends through my hole and pull. And I'm rotating each pattern. And I went around the entire thing until I had it fully covered. Again, this project used 6 of each design. After you cut them in half, you will have 12 pieces of each design. I then have this red burlap. It has a wired edge, which is really important, and I'm going to weave it through each holly bandana. So it's going to lay on top of the light green ones, and it's going to go through that little loop we made of the holly ones. And I'm going to do that until I go around the entire wreath form. Now, I don't want this pulled super tight. I do want the pieces kind of bubbled up. And then I'm going to cut the end. And once I have it pulled through each piece, I'm then going to tighten back up the holly bandanas. I did have to loosen them to get them underneath the hole. So I tighten them, leaving the burlap ribbon a little bubbled, and you can kind of form it since it has a wired edge. Now I'm just going through so that the 2 tail ends of the burlap ribbon are pretty even. And you can tighten everything where needed. So when we're at this point, I'm just going to tie a knot in the bottom here. And the 2 tails that I have left, I'm just going to kind of put a little wave in them. I'm then going to cut another piece of the burlap ribbon. I want to say this was about 9 inches. And I'm going to fold it so that the 2 ends of the ribbon meet. And then I'm going to pinch it in the center to make a bow. I'm using a piece of jute here to just tie the center. And you could tie this nice and tight and then cut the extra jute off. I cut another small piece of the burlap so that I could fold it over the center to hide the jute. And I'm holding that in place with some hot glue. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you know that we have created these bandana wreaths before, and I can leave a link to the other ones in the comments if anybody is interested. I then just glued that bow in the center, and now you have like a little wreath going around the inside. I have a wood circle that measures 10 inches. I painted it with some Wise Owl Snow Owl. And while that's drying, I found this word joy at Michael's, and I painted it with a mixture of the Spanish olive and white, which almost looks like the color Joshua tree. I'm then going to glue the word in the center of my board. I did add a little bit of red to the design that's pre-cut into the wood, but that step is totally optional. I'm going to add some hot glue going around the outside of my circle. And then I'm going to lay the wreath form on top of it. And the bandana will lay on top of the hot glue. And then there you go. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials over on our webpage. Have a great day.